Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Velvet Lounge Life. I am going to just do this really short special for you. It is in regards to a button that was valued initially at $3,000 or $3,000 to $5,000. And I want you to guess whether or not it has gained value over the years, stayed the same, or declined or decreased in value. So you have stayed the same, increased in value, or decreased in value.
It is. It's actually a very historic button. This is one of the buttons that was made to commemorate the inauguration of President George Washington. How did you come by it?
Well, my husband, who was at the time my first date, and I were on a trip just driving through the countryside on a first date, and we pulled over, and I saw a stone house. It was a ruin of a stone house.
Right.
And for some reason, I was climbing around, which I do.
Go check it out?
Just checking it out, just for fun, and climbed on top of it and saw what looked like a random strange thing on top of it, and I grabbed it and climbed back down again and said, well, this is odd, and took it home.
That was a sign. You should have been there, and you should have found this
I
button.
don't know what it was a sign about. But
It's
anyway.
an interesting button. It has the date March 1789. That's the date that Washington was scheduled to be inaugurated on. So many people wanted to be there and be part of the inauguration. They couldn't get everybody there in time. So they postponed his inauguration till April. So this is the wrong date. But that leans collectors to it being the first George Washington inaugural button. So it's a wonderful piece.
Wow.
Have you ever thought about what it might be worth?
Absolutely not. I wasn't even sure it was a button. No, I have no idea. And it's ironic because I found it and thought, what a cool button. How would I ever find out?
Right.
So watching the show,
You bring
here
it
I
to
am.
the Antiques
That's
Show.
right.
We can tell you it's no problem.
That's neat.
A button like this appeals to a lot of collectors. And on today's market, this would be $3,000.
Terrific. How wonderful. Great.
So what did you guess? I hope you put your guess down in the comments area. You might be in a drawing for some free buttons yourself if you did. But some of the things, just to give you an idea as to the characteristics of aging and dating something. So first of all, if something is marked 1700s, 1600s, 1800s, let's just say 1900s, the year 2000, that is pretty much a clue that you have something that is very old. However, you also have to look at how it was made, what it portrays, the style of artwork. This has sort of an arts and craft rudimentary feel when you look at the sun above the eagle, as well as just the style of the eagle itself. And the rest of it, I mean, I would look at it and obviously also think that I had something special. You know, this is something that you also would be able to tell if it was a button or not if it had a shank on the back. That is why she did not know whether or not this was a button, because it had no shank on the back, which makes sense. It's been around since the 1700s, rolling and trolling about in the dirt, and supposedly found at the wreckage of a home. And I'm going to talk about my experiences with Antiques Roadshow and other shows just in a minute. But the other thing is, you know, he knows this is what it is because he's obviously seen others, not many. That's why the value is so incredibly high. So yes, go look through your button hoard. You might actually have something like this. If the number is clear, you probably knew that you had something special. The other thing is always looking at the stylization of the lettering and the numbering. Now the lettering looks pretty, it almost looks like a Times Roman font. But the numbers, the way that they're made, that long sweeping swoop at the bottom of the 9, for example, or the tightness of the number 8, and they had a bit of flourish on the number 7, which is rubbed out a bit. So obviously you can't really see that clearly, nor the number 1. But just stating, you know, looking at how things are lettered or numbered sometimes helps with the age. And I say sometimes because we are in the year 2021, whereas we have a billion different fonts that we can create, recreate, and currently use. So you do need to be careful of that. Another signal of age to this button is the way the shield is made that's on the chest of the eagle and the number of stars that are on it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this little extra ditty, and please remember to subscribe to the channel. You know, please always, give it a thumbs up, as well as leave your comments down below if you ever have questions about what something is made of or how old it is. And there's a Velvet Lounge Life. This is one of our old cards. It's one of the old cards. As well as any other questions that you have. And remember, we do have an entire playlist that's dedicated to nothing but buttons. And in that playlist, you will find everything from identifications to projects to values to what to look for, how to care for them, how to store them, etc. Lots and lots, thousands of different buttons are represented in those videos. So if you needed an education, there you go. Also, we have videos on reselling. So if you want to sell your buttons or you want to sell a vase or your house or something, we have videos about that, as well as recipes and other things. So please take a look at our playlist and pick out something else to check out, and please share our videos. Much appreciated. Remember that your health is your wealth, and without your health you have absolutely nothing.